Welcome to a beautiful sunny day 2 of GroundUP Music Festival. You know you're hardcore when you're hearing this. Really happy to present to you one of my favorite musicians in the world, here to make you all better musicians over the next 40 minutes. Varijashree Venugopal from Bangalore, Karnataka State, South India.
Yes.
Let me lower this 3 feet.
Only.
A little number game, okay? We'll become friends with a different system of alphabet, of notes. Sa. Re. Why are you sorry? It's okay, don't do it again. Ga. Ma. Yes. Okay, you can be loud. You can be louder. No worries. Even if you get the lyric wrong, it's okay. You just have 2 more letters to memorize and then we can make up some things. Okay. Okay, one more time. Da. Da. Yes. Okay, don't be shy. Don't be shy, don't be sorry. One more time, we go through everything. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yes. Oh, that's an interesting harmony, but pa. Yes. Yes. Pa. Pa. Now quick, okay? Now, watch out. You know the syllables, right? Sa, ri, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. Very simple. Just these 7. This is basically the alphabet of solfege that we are taught in the Indian traditional classical styles of music. And I have been practicing the South Indian tradition of classical music called Carnatic music, which most of you might be familiar with. And this is like the do re mi fa solfege, this is the Indian solfege, which is used to notate a tune, to improvise, to write songs. So these 7 friends have been with me throughout my journey as a student of music. And today we'll have a little fun with these 7 new friends, okay? A little more. My ears are a little blocked today. Okay. Re. Okay? Okay. Sa. So there are 2 re's, 2 positions for re, right? Re, re. Is this good? Will you get this? Is this dance move okay? Okay. That's right. Ga, ga. That's right. Ga, 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 sa. Re, that's right. Re. Da. Yes. So we have covered all the 12 positions of an octave. So what are the syllables? Sa, the first note, sa, pa, the fifth note, ma, the fourth note, re, the second note, ga, the third note, the sixth, ni, seven. Re, ga, ma, da and ni all have two variants. The minor and the major, if that is something that makes it clear. So, sa, re, ga, ga, ma, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. That is the entire chromatic scale. Would you like to try it with me? And is that clear? So, yeah, you can clap for yourself. You just learned a whole new language of only 7 syllables. But the possibilities are so many. Are you guys okay with the rain? You want to keep going? I can join you there. I feel bad. Is it too bad? Good? Okay. Samaga Gamare Rigasa Sarini Sarigamaga ga Rigama pa ma ma Gama pa da pa pa ma pa da ni da da pa da ni sa ni ni pa da ni sa ni 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 da 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 pa 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 ma 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 ga ma ga ni sa ri ga pa ma ga ni sa ri ga ma ga ni sa ga ma ga ni sa sa ga ma ga ni sa ni ga ma ga ni sa ni ga ma ga ni sa da ga ma ga ni sa da ga ma ga ni sa pa 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 ga ma ga ni sa pa. Keep going. Sa pa ga ma ga ni 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 sa. Keep going. Sa pa ga ma ga ni sa ga ma pa ni da ma ga. Now ga ma ga ni sa pa 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 ga ma ga ni sa da 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 ga ma ga ni sa pa 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 ga ma ga ni sa da. 4 times each. Okay. pa, 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 da, 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 pa, 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 da, 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 now kamagari sa ni kamagari sa ni kamagari sa ni kamagari sa ni kamagari sa da kamagari sa da kamagari sa da kamagari sa da kamagari sa ni ni da da da. Now the first one. Da, da, the new one. Ni, 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 ni. Back to the, the. One more time. Kamagadisa, pa, kamagadisa, pa, kamagadisa, pa, kamagadisa, pa, kamagadisa, da, kamagadisa, da, kamagadisa, da, kamagadisa, da, kamagadisa, ni, kamagadisa, ni, kamagadisa, ni, kamagadisa, ni, kamagadisa, da, kamagadisa, da, kamagadisa, da, kamagadisa, da. That's great. So it's a little example of how these syllables, the solfege, can be used as a way of creating patterns, rhythmic phrases, or as a legato kind of an improv, which is not tied to any rhythm. And in the system of Indian classical music, one interesting thing is that every composition is committed to a raga or a mode. So we just sang the major scale, right? So sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. So any composition, if it is mentioned that it is in Shankara Bharana, which is what the major scale is called in Carnatic music, then they are committed to those notes. And it never happens that we have an added note happening anywhere in between the raga. Similarly, the entire composition is committed to a tonic note or the home note, and the syllable sa, which is the first, which is the home note, is not necessarily C or a D. It can be anywhere, and all the relative pitches are placed according to the mode. From there, they get displaced depending on where the first note or the sa remains to be. So, any questions so far? No? You want to sing more? Yes. Okay. Sa ga ma pa. I'll sing a few lines for you. Sa ga ma re, sa ga ma pa, sa ga ma re, sa ga re ni, sa ni da pa, sa ga ma pa, Sagamare. Sagarini. Sanidapa. Sagamapa. Only you. Sagamare. Sagarini. Sanidapa. Now you sing, you answer. Saga. One more time. Sagamapa. Sagamari. Sagarini. Sanidapa. Now what you do is, when you're singing your phrase and they are answering, you just have a longer sustain of the last note until the next phrase. Alright? 1, 2, same for you. 1, 2, 3, and Re. Sanidapa. Louder. Sagamapa. Sagamare. Sagarini. Sanidapa. Sagamapa. Sagamare. Sagarini. Sanidapa. So this is again a mode or a raga, and the notes are Sagama Panidapa Magarisa. It's like the minor scale with the added sixth note, and it's called Abheri. The name of the raga is Abheri in Carnatic music. We could try another interesting exercise where we have the sa and the pa as the constant. We don't have any variants, but then you choose which variant of the second, third, fourth, sixth and seventh notes we should sing. Now we know the entire chromatic scale, right? We know Sarigama Padani, Sarigama Padani. We know about the syllables, but now let's play around with permutations and combinations and see how it changes the effect that it creates in that mode. So who goes first? Anyone choose the re? Do you want the lower re or the higher one? The lower re. Okay. So we have sa re. Okay. And the third note? Higher one. Sa re ga. Okay. And ma, the fourth note? Low, high. Okay. Oh, we have high. Okay, I'll go. I took one note of yours, so high. Sa re ga ma. And we have the fifth note, which is a constant. Pa. What about the sixth note? Da. Lower or the higher? Lower? Okay. Sa re ga ma pa da. Okay. And the seventh? Minor and major. Minor? That's interesting. Sa re ga ma pa da ni. Can we try singing this? Yeah? Are you ready? You need a reminder of the syllables once. Sa, Re, Ga, Ma. Now do you remember the notes we selected? The values of all the syllables? I remember. I'll be with you. Pa. Pa. That's right. One more time. Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni. One more time. In tempo. 1, 2, 3, and Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni. Sa. One more time. Wonderful. Three, 4. Now, let's change one note in this mode. Maybe the 4th note. We'll take the lower variant of Ma. So it's going to be from Ma, it's going to be Ma. Can we give this a try? 1, 2, 3, and Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni. Again. Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni. Again. Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni. This raga is called Vakula Bharana. You have to remember all these names, huh? So, if you were here last night, we played a tune that is actually based in this raga. Gazapani, Gazapani, Niribada Gazapani, Gazapani, Nizariza, Sagapasa Nizari, So that is in Vakula Bharana, but has a few guest artists' notes because it's not a traditional piece. It's a new piece that I've made. So that is Vakula Bharana, and if you just change the 7th note to a higher variant, it becomes another mode. So the minor ni, let's shift it to a major ni, and let's try singing that. 1, 2, 3, go. Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, La. Exactly. One more time. Sa, Re, Ga, Ma. Just one more time. Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni. This is the first ever raga or mode or scale, however we would like to call it, that is taught as the beginner's lesson in the Carnatic system of learning. And the name of this raga is Maya Malava Gaula. Again, you have to remember all of this. Very long names. But this scale is a very interesting scale because if you observe, every two notes are equidistant. The intervals in between are the same. Sa, re, it's a half step away. Ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. So it's placed in an equidistant manner, and maybe that was why whoever wanted to sing or they had their beginner's lesson, they would naturally maybe incline more towards singing these notes. And then there is an extensive format of learning which has these different kind of lessons, little exercises that explore all the permutations and combinations of putting these swaras together into a phrase, into a rhythm cycle, which can then be explored more as part of different kinds of improvisation. And these have been my friends, like I told you, so whichever music I come across from wherever in the world, so this is my my mother tongue, and I depend on these 7 syllables and find where the home is, where the tonic note is, and then slowly translate it or transcribe it to a notation system where I can understand and relate to what is happening in that composition. Any questions so far? Anything that you would like to know about this system of learning and the fundamentals, and about swaras, about ragas?
The different starting positions in the scale, is that referred to as tones, like in Western music? Is it like modal positions on the scale?
Can you say that?
Modal? He's asking about modal. Is it the same like modal? Is that the
It-
same terminology?
It is modal, yes. It is hugely modal. Like I mentioned earlier, each composition is set to a mode, which we call a raga. But a mode might essentially be a set of notes. But when you call it a raga, it's also the play, the interplay between those notes, the glissandos and the ornamentations that you apply in between those spaces or on top of a note. So that gives it a very specific character, and every composition is set to a raga, and a tala or a time cycle or a time signature, and it entirely follows those two aspects of its in its entire length. Yeah, and in very rare cases you find some compositions which have different parts and sectors where the modes change, but the tonic note does not change. It stays where it is, and which is also one of the very most important thing to observe about the Indian classical styles of music, is that it is very melody centric, and there is not much of a harmonic exploration in this style of music, because it's mostly about the tala system and the raga system making melodies itself, and the only concept of harmony is with this instrument, the drone that you heard that I was playing earlier in the beginning. It's called a tanpura or a tambura or a tamburi. It is called in different ways depending on the geographical area in India. It has 4 strings tuned to the lower octave of the tonic note, and 2 of the strings are the 5th note. Sorry, it's the other way around. The first string would be the 5th note, which is the pa, and then the next 2 strings would be the higher octave of the sa, which is the tonic note, and then the last string would be the bass, the lowest octave of the sa. So it is. So the drone would go in this manner. and then that is pretty much present in all circumstances throughout the learning, while you're practicing, while you're in a concert. So that is the pitch reference for everyone on stage. And if there's a violin player playing along with a vocalist, and then mridangam player, which is the South Indian double-headed drum, so the high side of it would be tuned generally to the tonic center of the entire concert. So the shruti, or the pitch, or the tonic center is maintained to be the same for the entire concert. And another thing is that when they write pieces, they don't mention which key it should be in or which tonic it should be in, unlike in Western classical pieces, where they are meant to be played in a certain key. So that does not happen most of the times in the Indian classical repertoire, because the performer chooses the key that is comfortable for them. If they are singers, then they have a good range, a comfortable octaves, and whatever is comfortable for them to hit all the sweet spots in their voice. They would choose that key. For example, if it's a Carnatic concert, I would sing in A. The entire concert would be having A as my tonic reference, and all the modes will begin from A as the starting point. If I'm playing the flute, maybe I'm playing in an E flat or a D as the tonic reference. So, hence, coming back to the point that you mentioned, it is modal. It is all modal. It's very rare to come across a traditional composition which has a lot of chromatic movements. To be more specific about it, to have notes that are out of the designated mode. So every mode is a combination of a certain notes. The intervals are fixed. So when you call it a mode, when you say this is the mode, then if you're playing a major scale from any starting point, from any sa, it is rare to have a minor seventh note or a minor third note inserted anywhere in the composition, unless it is in the context of like the world music scenarios, or like a collaborative piece which is more explorative, and where the space is meant for exploration. And that's where I find this helpful, where I take the help of the system of ragas, the swaras, and make some rules, break some rules, but then the roots are always there, very much available to be put to use in the most beautiful ways. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Yes, please. Yeah, so these are the two most important aspects of Indian classical musical traditions. Raga is the melodic part. Tala is the rhythmic part. So Tala is essentially time cycle. But then there is also a rhythm language, just like how we have the solfege Sari, Gama, Padani, which help us locate all the positions of a mode or of a composition or of a phrase. Similarly, there is an alphabet set of phrases and syllables that are used to emulate the sounds that are produced on, let's say, in the South Indian style, the double-headed drum mridangam, or in the Hindustani or the North Indian classical style, it is the tabla. So there is a language for rhythm which is called konnakol in the Carnatic system, and it's called padant, or they have another term in North India which I might not be aware of. But padant is something that I have heard, or bol, which is basically the sounds that you produce using your voice and the various sounds that you can produce with your mouth and tongue to emulate the sounds. For example, ta, ki, ta, ka, di, mi. 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 Ta, ka, ta, ki, ta. 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 So there are many syllables of this kind. People who train in percussion, in Indian percussion, they study this more extensively because that is their language that they apply, that they learn, and that they also use to notate. But I, being a student of melody, mostly, I would still use these syllables to understand groupings, to understand the mathematical structure which is a part of a certain phrase in a composition, or if it is a sequence, if there is a numeric sequence, if I have to remember, oh, it is 3 5s, or it is a group of 5, then 4 and 3, then I just make note saying taka takita takadina takita, 5, 4 and 3. Or tadiginatum tadinginatum tadinginatum would be 5, 6 and 7. So there are many ways in which these notations work. But there is one very beautiful form of composition, a compositional format called the tillana, that is in Carnatic music, which brings together both the system of solfege, which is the sarigama padani, and the konakol syllables, that's called jati. These are not lyrics, but actually rhythmic syllables set to a melodic line. That's called a tillana, and it will also have a sector where there is lyric. So this is a composition that brings together many different kinds of alphabet for melody and rhythm and context with respect to the lyric. So it's raga and tala. Those are the, there is a, we believe that raga is the mother, and raga, or we also call it shruti. Shruti is pitch. So the aspect of melody is the mother, and then the aspect of rhythm or tala or time cycle is the father of music. And once they are together, then it is complete. Any more questions? How much time do we have?
Can I ask another one?
2 minutes. Yes. Yes, please.
Can I ask another one?
Anybody?
Okay. Yes, I'll just quickly answer his question. Yeah, improvisation for me is again very dependent on the Indian sargam, swaras, or the solfege, and the tonic note, and more specifically in the new world that I am in the past decade or more exposed to, which is the world of harmony, and figuring out what sounds good and what is the tonic center of that progression that's happening, and how to relate to it with respect to the language that I have been practicing, which is this, sarigama padani, and figuring out the tonic note. So that would be my approach when it comes to improvisation or even writing a song. Doesn't matter if it is lyrical or not lyrical, because many of the tunes that I have been interested in writing in the recent past have not had any lyrics also, and it's just the syllables that are cutting through, like that's the hero there, the melody is depicted by actually singing the notes that are the positions of the notes actually. And the same happens with improvisation, so they become my vehicles to navigate the space that's there melodically and also now harmonically. But there is one common aspect, that is the rhythm, which is which is just you feel it, though it can be called in different ways. You might use different syllables to understand a groove, but it's still a pulse that you feel and fit in the space that is there in the most appropriate way. So that those would be the things that help me while I improvise. Yeah, we kind of.
I was curious. I know there's a tradition of the raga being associated with time of day. Certain ragas time of day. Can you talk about that a little bit? And then the second part, is there any similar tradition to the tala? I've never heard of before.
Maybe not for talas, but I have definitely heard of ragas having time zones, like early morning ragas, late morning, noon, afternoon, early evening, late evening, and midnight. And this is still practiced in the North Indian classical style of music. So if you go to concerts, what raga they're going to perform will definitely depend on the time of the concert during the day, but not so much in the South Indian classical style of music. As far as I know.
Yes.
What we might think of as semitones, the quarter tones, how does that fit in with the raga?
So the semitones and the quarter tones and even smaller fractions of the intervals, they exist in between. So we might not point it out or notate it. So sa re, when I'm singing that, I'm not notating it as sa sa ga re re ga re re ga re. I'm just noting the important notes. Sa re, that's it. Sa re. It's up to me how to travel in between point A and B. Sa re, depending on what the mode is and what notes can be a part of that. Yeah. Are we good? I think there was just one more question.
So obviously improvisation is a major part of what you're doing. Is that part? Is there an improvisation component in like traditional music, or is that really something that you are adopting from other traditions?
No, Indian music is very rich when it comes to improvisation. Non-lyrical, not sticking to any tempo, like an ex-tempo, like what do you call that, rubato improvisation, called the alapana, or just the exploration of the raga. And then you have another system called tana, which is using a few other syllables called nom nom da nom 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 da nom nom da nom da nom nom da nom da. So we use the a, nom, ta, nom, a very specific set of syllables and a tempo for the tana. Then we have improvisation on a structure of a lyrical line, where you change the melody of the original composer, but you make new melodies holding the same structure of the lyrical phrase. And then we have improvisation using the sarigama padani. Might be in tempo, might be without tempo. So there are these many kinds. But the only thing is, it is modal. But now what I'm getting to try is go out of that mode, the modal mode, and also, try different things. I think we are kind of good with time. We should wrap up and make space for the next amazing sessions to come. Thank you so much. I hope you have something interesting to think about.
Varijashree Venugopal, everybody.